the action.
Westwood Flyaway.
Be in the January 23rd meeting.
Because we have to take an action, and we need to be sure that you are okay with the action we are recommending.
This is a chart you're probably familiar with from last July, giving the financial
Which one do you want to speak on? You didn't say.
I could have done it. I'll do it at the end. I'll do fine. You got an extra one there? Let's see.
Slightly changed because we didn't have the full fiscal year when we met in July. So the deficit for last fiscal year, full fiscal year, was about $963,000 with a total cost per passenger to LAWA at $8.95. In July, you authorized a 6-month license agreement with UCLA to continue the service through the end of January, and their increase from $5 to $10. Since that time, UCLA has dedicated 25 stalls in the parking structure 32. They promised to take that number up to 100 as demand has necessitated, but so far that has not been the case. UCLA has promoted and marketed the Flyaway for separate prongs: the students, the campus community, the Westwood community, namely the Business Homeowners Association, and the business community. There was a newly formed Westwood Business Improvement District that they reached out to. And UCLA conducted a transportation survey on campus. This was middle of last year. It showed that 92% of the surveyed students were aware of the Flyaway, and that 50% of the students had actually used the Flyaway. What has LAWA done since your decision was made to extend the service? We've aligned the schedule to meet weekday service. Basically, that means eliminating the half-hour service frequency that was taking place on Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays as a cost savings measure. We provide the UCLA with the ridership data primarily every week or every 2 weeks. They can track the progress of their marketing efforts. I've met with council representatives and transit advocates, worked with UCLA to develop the holiday schedule, conducted an assessment of the Westwood Village for additional parking opportunities. We discovered that several of the lots that in Westwood do not have overnight parking, and that the UCLA parking in Structure 32 is the most cost-effective for someone to use. And we also conducted a ridership survey in the middle of October. We made sure that the week from October 17th to the 23rd, there wasn't anything unusual going on campus. And we had 248 responses. These were people that were already on the Flyaway coming from UCLA to LAX. And just 2 points of interest in that survey showed that about 80% of the people who used the Flyaway either walked or were dropped off at the Flyaway site, which is very enlightening. And who's riding the Flyaway? It was a larger cross-section than I would have anticipated. 37% were residents and 35% were college students, the remaining visitors. There was from my view, there was a higher visitor percentage than I had anticipated. What does that mean with the bottom line? This is a comparison between the values that we had. The revenue numbers can lag the ridership numbers. So we have the first 3 months since we made the changes. Ridership is down 19%, which was not too much of a surprise with the cost increasing from $5 for a one-way ride to $10, and the reduction of frequency of service. But the operating costs have reduced, and the revenue has increased by 63%. At the same time, the ridership is down 19%. So the cost per passenger to LAWA has dropped for those 3 months from $7.78 from last year to, or 2010, to $2.28.
So that's a favorable trend.
Yes, it is. I do have the ridership numbers for November, and those are very consistent with the numbers that we had for the first 3 months. It's a reduction of 19% as well.
So the headline is we reduced our deficit dramatically.
By $5 per, well, not quite, what, $4.50 per passenger, something like that?
It was $8.95, and now it's $2.58. And then the deficit for last year was $964,000. that is reduced to an estimate. Again, these are extrapolated from the 3 months of data. I'm trying to extrapolate a full year data, which is yes, I give caution to that number, but the trend is there at 224,000 a year with a ridership of 87,000. Coincidentally, the number that we projected with the changes in the service and the fare was $87,000. It was 87,000 passengers per year. So at least
Nice, yeah.
we at least guessed right so far. So what we're asking to do in January is to come back to you on January 23rd and extend the service agreement for another 6 months to the end of the school year to June 30th, 2012. I'm sorry, and continue to explore the marketing strategies with UCLA, and then provide you an update on the full. Well, I should take the. We'll provide you an update on the full Flyaway network in January as well. We'll provide you another additional one for Westwood in the spring.
Could you remind us how many sites we have and how many sites we're required to have?
We have 4 sites at the moment with Van Nuys, Union Station, Westwood, and Irvine, and we're required to have 5 more by 2015.
By 2015.
We are required to develop.
Yes, I understand.
Okay, I will be the Grinch here and say that while we've made very good progress, we are still losing money on this. And I supported the staff recommendation to go ahead and continue it throughout the school year. But I think you guys have been clear with us that our goal is to try to not lose money on an ongoing basis. So we'll not prematurely truncate this. We will try this for the next 6 months. But we do have work to do in order to try to get that deficit to be at least a neutral.
I want to thank you, Jean Marie, and to staff. You've been more than supportive and generous in giving this a chance. And I think we've all agreed that this has to at least be a break-even operation, and we had agreed to just 6 months to give the residents and the community out there a chance to see if they could pull it through. I might just mention, by the way, that it was the community folks that recommended and supported the fare increase, and I think that says a lot about potentially the growing goodwill that we have out there. And at least speaking for myself, I think giving it 6 more months, which will give us a full academic year, will give us a real story, and hopefully it'll break even at least. If it doesn't, then the commission and the staff will do what they have to do, because we can't afford to continue losing monies on this. But at least I, for one, that's been championing this, am at least pleased that we've given it this much of a chance. And we'll let the data and the trends make the final decision. So,
would it make sense to set some thresholds for UCLA or the Westwood Business Association or the Residents Associations or something, and give them some targets to shoot for?
I think the answer to that is yes, and in the most simplistic way, I think we have.
I mean, 0 plus.
We've said this has to break even, and they stepped up to the things that we identified for them to do, providing the parking spaces and all the rest of that. So now it's very clear what.
So we can give them this update and explain to them what the gap is. And
yes.
Tell them that that's still the threshold. We're giving them 6 months.
In fact, there's a representative from UCLA here today, and we will continue to provide them the data.
And has there been marketing letting people know in the community there are parking spaces available?
Yes, UCLA has provided flyers to the business community and the homeowners association, and letting them know where the parking is and how much it is. It's if you're interested, it's $11 per day weekdays, $8 per day on the weekends, and $59 for a week.
A lot cheaper than in the CTA.
Yeah, definitely.
It's even than Lot C, which is $12.
I wonder if when the Wilshire Boulevard on and off ramps to the 405 are closed for 3 months this spring, if that's an opportunity to draw new riders. It certainly is a traffic nightmare coming our way.
Good point.
Yeah, very good idea.
Following up on Commissioner White's point, at this rate, what level of ridership would we need in order to break even?
Or subsidies.
Or subsidies from somewhere else, yeah.
That was the one.
We
I
need
didn't have.
$2 and
$25,000.
58 cents per
Yeah.
passenger,
Yes, yeah, 25,000. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
or $224,000.
yeah, exactly.
People, but is there a ridership number without the subsidies that would get us to break even?
It would be 22,400 passengers.
22,400.
At $10. That would be at roughly a 20% increase.
I'd like to, I know UCLA initially either suggested or proposed to provide some type of a dollar subsidy. If you could raise that with them again, as well as the business improvement district for Westwood Village. I think it'd be worth going back and just raising the issue. Are you prepared to provide a subsidy, depending on what the final passenger, cost per passenger turns out to be by that time?
Probably not the best year to go to UCLA seeking
I think we found that it was illusory when we pressed on it earlier.
Yeah, that is true.
They're not going to the
I know
football
that
games?
They're willing to put in something because it's an important service and it entices students and residents to support the university in its own way.
Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much.
Pat.
Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Grading and Mr. Schallman. We saved the best for